Greetings, boils, ghouls, and all other macabre manner of being, and welcome back to another of the 13 vids of Oktoberfest. For today's video, if it wasn't evidenced by the title down below, nor the description below that, we're going to be taking a look at another soft drink. Well, this might be the first one with a soft drink. I don't know, I'm not sure if I'm uploading these videos in order. So, the soft drink in question, I will give you all a hint, because I saved just a little reminder from last year. Sorry, I had to go digging around behind you, the viewer, but I found what I was looking for. So, some of you may recall that I did a review of a certain Dew last year. Just giving you the flyby treatment on that one. And if you don't remember, right over here is the correct spot in which that little thing will pop up. You can go back and watch that one. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, apparently this is the third year that they are doing this particular little thing from the old Mountain Dew company. That's right, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone else in between. Without further delay, I present to you VooDew 3. Yes, Mountain Dew VooDew is back at it again. And this is the limited edition for, if you didn't read it on the moon the first time, 2021. Yes. So, as stated previously, well, I didn't even state it, I just kind of waved a can in front of your face. So, as I showed you previously, we have this can, which represents what Mountain Dew VooDew looked like last year, and I have to say that I absolutely loved that particular aesthetic to it, as I said in the video above. Judging by the artwork on this box, which I'm assuming is the expanded artwork that's on the can, I believe I'm also going to love this as well. There have been a couple little things changed, I think, but I won't be able to tell until I actually crack open this case and crack open a can for myself. So, obviously, this year we have more of a softer blue palette to the color of the Dew this year, or at least the box. Now, before I go cracking open this case, I'm going to do the usual. For those calorie-conscious ghouls like myself, the nutrition facts on the size say that there are approximately 12 servings per container, and apparently one can equals one serving. And the amount of the amount of calories per one can is 160. Now, let's go ahead and compare that to the can from last year, and that is exactly the same. Good to know it hasn't changed much. Alright, so as much as I'm going to detest, and I mean that, I'm going to absolutely loathe having to destroy the artwork, it's only going to be on the one side. And besides, it was kind of destroyed anyway when I had to punch out the hand grip. But now that I'm looking at it, I'm going to be destroying it on the other two sides as well, and the third one is kind of blocked off with a barcode and nutrition facts thing. Oh well, I'll always have the can to look back on if I decide to keep it. So with that said, let's crack this thing open and grab a can. That poor, poor artwork. Come on, box. Stop tearing where you're not supposed to. Come on. There we are. There we go. Haha! We got it off. And now we reveal the cans of Mountain Dew within. Now give me a moment to look over the can for myself before I give my review. Now there are certain things that have remained the same between this can and last year's. We have the Reaper-like fellow with the VooDew for a face. Only this year, instead of going 2, he's going 3, because as stated previously, this is apparently the 3rd year in a row they've been doing this. Let's compare the cans side by side. Okay, apparently this year they've added in a haunted house with a spookula pumpkin on the front porch, along with spider webs, and on the topic of spiders, there's also one thrown in there for good measure, right there, hanging from that branch. And just like last year, this is called a mystery flavor. So, let's see, anything else notable about the cans? They added some bats. That's a nifty little detail. On the can from last year, they did not have any bats, that I can tell. Also, as stated previously, nice soft blue, almost Baja Blast coloration aesthetic going on with this one, whereas this one has more of a red and green color going to it. But that's enough about last year's can. If you want to see more about that, click on the link up there. So, before I go cracking open the can, I should probably give it a review, shouldn't I? Okay, so, as I've stated multiple times, and has my alter ego, Oxleymations, we start at 5 and go up or down, depending on certain factors. And, well, I will be quite honest with you all, ladies and gentlemen, and all other configurations of being, I'm not sure what to think of this can. I like it, I really like the details, and I like that it's different than last year, while still keeping this guy front and center. But I'm not entirely sure. So, just for the moment, for the sake of it, my little ghost friend over here, right on top of his head, put the number 7, because that's the score I'm giving to the can itself. For the artwork, the visual appeal, because I will say, this, the artwork, the graphics on this box and on these cans, is just that. It's a work of art. If it weren't for the fact that I had to tear off that one end so that I could get my hands on the cans inside, and if I had the ability, I would get that framed. I would get at least one side of this cut off and framed with the can next to it, like a window box sort of thing. So on that note, I need to get a little something before I crack this open. Ladies and gentlemen, I premiere for you all the Monster Hand Koozie. I believe that's what these are called, koozies. As you can see, it's got wicked claws on the ends, and it's sort of reminiscent of kind of Wes Craven's New Nightmare Freddy Krueger meets a lion. But I'm going to need this koozie and this clear glass beverage container, and working together in tandem with this can, we're going to see just what color this is. Will it be that same kind of milky, almost clear color as it was last year? Who knows? But we're about to find out together. So let's do this! Okay, it cracked open very nice and easy. Let's get a whiff. Ooh. It smells good. That's a good brew right there. But it also reminds me of something else. Something very familiar. So without further ado, before I go on with that, haha, I said further ado. Get it? Ado. So before I carry on with that, I'm going to switch hands and see how badly I can mess up pouring soda into a glass while wearing a funny thing. Here we go. Yes, it appears to be that same milky, almost clear color from last year. That's right, fill it all the way up, bartender. Every last drop. So for your benefit, the viewer, See? It does look good, doesn't it? Now, I'm going to go on ahead and give this a taste, and I will let you know if it's any good or not, in my humble opinion. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone else in between, all you ghouls and goblins and ghosts out there, for those who want to experience this for themselves and don't want to have this ruined for them, feel free to click away now, because you have until I put down my pinky finger, make that my pointer finger, before I tell you what this tastes like to me. Now, last year's version tasted like Skittles to me. This year's mystery flavor, it tastes more like gummy bears, if anything. Believe it or not, that honest-to-God tastes like a liquefied gummy bear has been carbonated and poured into a glass. Now, let me just take another sip, just to confirm this for myself. Yeah, honest-to-God, that tastes like gummy bears. Whew. I like it. I have to say, I really like that flavor. But I can guarantee it's not going to be for everyone. So I would say the ghoul in front of you would tell you that if you're a fan of gummy bears, you know, the sweet kind of flavored beverages, then you will in fact enjoy this. If you're not such a fan of this, then, I mean, they have like the smaller bottled versions of this, so you don't have to go and buy an entire 12-pack of cans like yours ghoulie did before they popped up with the bottles on the shelves. But I do actually recommend this. As I was starting to say previously, if you're a fan of gummy bears and like those gummy candies, that kind of a flavor, you will enjoy this. And I mean that. But if you're not, then feel free to skip this one this year. Also, I just have to get this out of the way. This creep sitting in this chair before you, am not in any way, shape, or sponsored. I had a word there. It died in my head because of the flavor being so good. But I'm not sponsored by Mountain Dew or any of their subsidiaries. I just wanted to get that out of the way, even though you all know that by this point. Although I have a feeling at some point in the future, in the probably far-flung, if not too far in the future, I may wind up with a sponsorship, but who knows? I've gotten a couple of things in the mail, but I think they're just advertisements, so I can't say one way or the other yet. On that note, we had over here, on top of Spooky, the pumpkin-headed ghost, 7, I believe it was, for the cans and the packaging, the visual appeal of this stuff. As for the beverage itself, which I'm going to take another sip of, I'm going to give the beverage, I think I'm going to give it the same score, yes. The Mountain Dew VooDew Mark III limited edition mystery flavored cola. It's not a cola, it's a Mountain Dew beverage. But anyway, the Mark III limited edition mystery flavored soda gets a 7 from me. And you know what that means? That means we take this 7 over here, let me just grab that, and we take the 7 that I just gave the soda, and it gets a solid 14 from this creep right here. So, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, and all other macabre manner of being, if you like what you've seen here today, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that little bell icon to be notified of future uploads once you are subscribed. And if you feel that your friends would enjoy this kind of content, feel free to share it with them. And if you're not sure, share it anyway. You could be surprised. And with all of that Halloween hullabaloo out of the way, this is your old ghoul Oxleymations, Oxtoberfest, saying, later.